Morning. I'm going to see how I go really with recording these pieces to camera. It's 4:36 and it's the 30th of July, which means it's Ride London Day. It's a bit miserable, to be honest. It's just spitting a little bit. I guess first slight criticism. The ride organisers sent an email out last night basically telling people that the weather conditions were going to be changeable, and made a whole load of suggestions about extra things to take. Now that's a little bit late, isn't it, when you've got God knows how many thousands of riders coming? What's the chances of them being local? So either they were organised in advance, like me, and like the dozen to 20 guys that I've seen this morning, or what was the point? The guys who this is really going to catch out, based on experience from a couple of years ago, are the abundance of charity riders who haven't really got a clue. Those guys are going to feel it. The only probably saving grace for them is that most of them start a little bit later, so it's going to be lighter, it's going to be a little bit brighter, and it's going to be warmer. But yeah, that's not good. You guys need to really sort that out. And yeah, weather forecast can change, but that email should have gone out probably midweek. So, of course, there was going to be a moan of some description at 4:30 in the morning. So, a couple of cups of coffee, breakfast consumed. I've been a good guy and I've come downstairs into the foyer to eat my breakfast, have a couple of cups of coffee, left the missus trying to get some sleep at least upstairs. I woke up around about 3:30, probably a little bit of anxiety I guess about sleeping through the alarm, even though that never happens. But there's already a fair few riders who are heading off, so I guess these guys are probably in the first wave. Looks like I'm in the second, so yeah, be back upstairs in a minute, pack the bag, get myself ready, and then away we go. As far as ride footage goes, I've only got one camera with me, so I've only got one battery, which means I've got about an hour and a half's worth of recording. So I'm going to try and do a little bit out the gate, 2 or 3 of the climbs. If I only get 2, then it will be Leaf Hill and Box Hill. Newlands Corners are really not worth doing anything round, to be honest. And then I'm going to try and get the run down the Mall, but I could be out of battery anyway by then, so we'll see how it goes. So, as you know, I'm going to put it out there. I'm aiming for a 5-hour time, sub 5 hour if I can. I think the conditions might screw that up. Talk about getting your excuses in early.
Apparently they went through and told me.
So on the park
side, we now turn our attention to the 7:04 start. That will be Green Wave B.
So hey everyone, this is just going to be a kind of short overview really of the Ride London 2017. As you all know, I was hoping to get in under 5 hours, and just before I kind of give you the result, some of you will already know it because there's a bit of a story to it, but this next comment will sound like how far up his own arse is this guy, but I've been reading quite a few kind of pro autobiographies over the last couple of years, and what's always amazed me is how they almost come across as casual when stuff happens, you know. So take is it Froome 2014, crashed out of the Tour de France, you know, he's been training all year, and I think one of the comments was, in fact I know one of the comments was, well, that's bike racing. Geraint Thomas, in his autobiography, you know, there's a number of races where, you know, he's had to retire, and the comment that comes up is, well, that's bike racing. And then actually only a few weeks back that happened to him in the Tour de France this year, so 2017. And I've never been able to get my head around that, but actually, I think I've finally understood it. So that's why I say it's going to come across like I'm, you know, or how far up his own arse is he? But yeah, actually yesterday I finally understood that, and that you can do absolutely everything in your power, but shit will still happen that will, you know, basically mess your plans up. So as you all know, I was going for time under 5 hours. And yeah, that was always pushing it, to be honest. But of course, when I say it was always pushing it, is because, you know, really I needed the right conditions. So not windy so much, but rain certainly, and then also the right sort of road conditions in terms of the traffic. Well, there was a tick in the box for the latter because I got a fairly early start time, sort of around about 7 o'clock. But I guess I should have realised that it wasn't going to be a plain sailing kind of day when it absolutely peed it down overnight. It was dry when I set off, and actually it stayed dry all the way through the ride, so that was one saving grace. But when you get out into Surrey, there's a lot of areas where you know, it's going to take a good few hours for it to dry out, and so that just never happened. And you'll see from the footage, particularly up Leith Hill. Going up is not so bad, but you know, going back down is a little bit treacherous in places. So that was the first thing. Second thing was, then when I arrived, should have had a 7:04 start time. We were greeted with, well, we're running about 8 or 9 minutes late at the minute. So there we go. A couple of punctures. I seem to be on a bit of a run of them at the moment. So I went out a couple of weeks back and managed to get 2 punches in 10 miles. This wasn't quite as bad. It was 2 punches in the space of about 25 miles. But actually it turned out to be a third, because when I got back from London last night, unloaded the car, back tyre had gone down again. So this morning I've changed yet another tube, and there we go. But as you can tell, I'm not annoyed, I'm not peed off at all. Yeah, my Garmin had issues, so I've done Ride London twice. Neither ride says 100 miles, they're both about 95 in length. But again, not bothered, because there were some real positives out of it. Take those things out that I can't control, and I'm really, really happy. I absolutely buried myself trying to make up the time. So a couple of years back, when I did the ride with a group of people, I got to the top of Box Hill, sort of turned round, there was no sign of anybody, so I thought, okay, well, let's just sort of do a 25-30 mile time trial and then back to the finish. And so I thought to myself, well, I can probably make some time up here. I'd already had 2 punches by that point, and I just decided to go as sort of hard as I possibly could. So if you look on Strava, 95 miles came in at about 4:53, I think it was, or 4:55. So if it had recorded the whole thing, I think I would have come in just a little over 5 hours. So I can't complain. Take the 2 punches out, better road conditions, I'd have easily done under the 5 hours. I know it's all ifs and buts, and oh yeah, I could definitely do that. And the rule, if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen. But like I say, I don't care, because there was so many positives out of it. I set my fastest 40k time about 3 years ago. When was it? 2013, so 4 years ago. And I absolutely annihilated it yesterday. I took about 15 minutes out of it. And it wasn't on the sections that was, mostly downhill either. So massive positive. right. Right.
are through 8,000 finishes so far.
So, I'm pretty sure that I've not beat the 5-hour record. However, I'm actually not disappointed. I'm not disappointed because it was really only punches and hold-ups on the road. So I think it was about 5.5 hours. But yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. I've absolutely buried myself. Try this again. So missed out on my time, but 2 punches, a couple of hold-ups, so out of my control. I do feel pretty knackered now, to be honest, but I'm not disappointed. I genuinely couldn't have done any more. Somehow I have managed to set my fastest 40k time, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll be even happier if it actually came in kind of the last hour, because then, well, that'll prove I'm fitter than I thought I was. So, got the short journey back to the hotel now.